guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a super exciting video. You're gonna be like, Carter, your hair is wild and you have clips in your hair. What's going on? I realized I never filmed an intro to this video. Hi, I'm actually future Carter. We're about to actually go do our final walkthrough right now. And I was editing this video to get it up for you guys. And I realized I never filmed an intro with like what we were looking for, our budget and all that kind of stuff. So I figured while I was getting ready to go to the walkthrough, we could multitask, and that's why my hair is clipped back. And this is my natural hair and it's quite literally wild, so we're just gonna disregard her, okay? She has a mind of her own. But yeah, I wanted to get ready with you guys and also just kind of share some of the things that we were looking for in a house, because obviously, plot twist, we did find a house, which you guys already know, but I still wanted to share the journey of us looking for houses. So a little bit of context. If you're new and you're just clicking on this video, my fiance and I bought this house, which is a condo townhouse, in February of 2021. We bought it for just a little bit over $500,000 and our interest rate on it is 1.8%. Just the times with the pandemic, but unfortunately housing prices haven't gotten better, so we're kind of glad that we bought when we did. And in Canada, you can port your mortgage, so we can take our current mortgage and port it over to a different house and then just take out a second mortgage at a blended rate of our current mortgage and the new rate for the difference. And that's what we ended up doing. We kind of knew this house was not going to be a long-term house for us if we could afford it. Of course, we went into it, if like we have to be here for 5-10 years, that's totally okay with us. But if we could, we really wanted to fix up this house, kind of do more of like, I guess, a flip, if you will, and then find something out in the country a bit further, because houses a bit out of the city are still running a little bit cheaper than in the city, of course. So that was always our plan, but we actually only made it to the 2-year mark here before we decided to start looking, because we have 3 years left on our mortgage and it's the best time for us to port our mortgage and move, because obviously we'll be up for renewal in 3 years. So it just made sense for us to start looking now. And because we weren't in a rush and we wanted to be really, really picky with our next home, which is hopefully going to be our forever home, we wanted to start as soon as possible because we did not know how long it was going to take us to find a house. We were kind of okay if it took us a year, 2 years, because we wanted to be super picky, because obviously buying during the pandemic, we could not be picky at all, and we honestly just had to settle on this house to get into the market, and it is what it is. So we started looking in May of this year and we ended up buying and selling in September. So it's a pretty big chunk of time. We saw about 20 houses. We definitely could have seen more, but once again, we were just really, really picky with what we were looking for. And so that's like a little bit of context to begin with, I guess. Let's get into doing my makeup, multitasking, talking about the new house. And I'm so excited because today's video is actually sponsored by Merit. I've been using their stuff for a few weeks now, almost about a month, because you guys know I have very acne prone skin, so I'm very picky with the products I use, and I really wanted to give it a good length of time before I talked about it in the video. If you guys don't know about Merit, they are a clean beauty and minimalistic makeup brand, which I love. Their packaging is super simple. I love that their products are multi-purpose. So I always mess up this word and I'm gonna stare at the screen so that I can like articulate it, but all their products are non-comedogenic. See, I messed up. Non-comedogenic, which means that they are formulated with ingredients that won't clog your pores, which I've realized in the process of healing my acne is a really important factor. So just a little fun fact for you guys. Last thing before we get into doing the makeup is, obviously because we're moving and a lot of our stuff is packed away, their bags are a game changer because I can fit all of my makeup in here and just kind of carry it around the house, because also now our mirrors are packed away. So I have to do my makeup in the camera or in the bathroom, but the lighting's just not great there. So I can carry the little bag around the house, and I love the color. It's such like a perfect fall color. And they also sent me a beautiful vegan leather one, which I'll show you guys after. But anyways, let's jump into it. I already have a base on of moisturizer and tinted sunscreen, so we're gonna kind of go in and do the rest. We're working with like a little blank slate here. Just going in with their bronzer, which once again, I'll just have everything kind of on the screen for you guys. And I am not a makeup guru. I literally do not know what I'm doing, so I just kind of follow where the girlies say to put the bronzer, and it blends really easy, which I absolutely love. Love their brush too. It makes it super easy to blend in. So the first thing is our budget for our house, and so we really did not want to spend, I don't know why I thought this was a good idea to talk while I'm doing my makeup, honestly. I literally don't know why I thought that was a good idea. So maybe we're gonna have to actually just get ready first and then talk. I feel like that might be the better option. Also, you guys, this blush shade is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It's in the shade Beverly Hills, but it is just, it's stunning. Like, you can't tell me that's not the prettiest blush Like, their products are just so easily blendable. I think I said this in the unboxing video, but I love that they offer like a more bronzy shade highlighter, because I find that champagne ones kind of wash me out, and so I love just like all of the different color shades and options that they have. And I find with highlighters especially, it can be so hard to put on like a cream based one, and this one just like literally glides on your face. So easy, so awesome. And I'm just, once again, just kind of going and blending that in. Also really love their shadows because they're cream based. I have this like really beautiful taupey color, and it makes it so easy to just add like a little zhuzh, you know, doing your makeup every day. I have been loving their brow pomade because I find it so hard to find a pomade that has a really good hold on it, but also is not super concentrated with color. Like, this just gives you the perfect natural finish on your brows, and I just love it so much. Their lip oil is amazing. This is in the shade Au Naturel. It's really nourishing and also gives this the perfect tint to your lips without being like too much. It's like a very natural tint, which I love. I actually already bought a second one of these to keep in my purse at all times. I just love it so much. I'll have all of my products linked down below for you guys. And if you're in the market for just like some new makeup, or with like the holidays, Christmas, anniversaries, birthday coming up, Merit actually offers makeup sets, which is awesome. And when you buy a set, it's actually discounted at 15% off, which I think is great. And I think that's such a great gift idea to ask for, or maybe to get for someone. Beginning on October 10th, all meritbeauty.com orders over $100 will ship with a limited edition Proenza vegan leather bag. And all orders over $40 get free shipping. So anyways, I'll have all their products linked down below for you guys to check out. Like I said, a huge thank you to Merit for sponsoring today's video. Let's talk about the house hunting adventure. It sure was an adventure. Okay, I just finished the look off with some mascara. I gotta pull up my notes. I have a lot of notes because I don't want to miss anything. So let's start off with our budget. I know that most people with their next house, they spend more money, and I'm not saying it's wrong to do that by any means, but Matt and I really try as much as we can to live below our means in terms of our home. We feel like what we're paying now is very comfortable to be able to save every month, not want to like spend more on a house if we could help it. With that being said, our max budget, so we got approved for more than this, but our max budget that we were comfortable spending was about $550, and that's mainly because right now our mortgage is $1,600 a month, and our condo fees are about $390 to $400. So monthly right now on just our home, we spent about $1,900 Canadian. And so we knew that we were kind of comfortable with that amount of money every month, and that brought us up to about a $550,000 mortgage. Here are some of the things that we absolutely needed in our house, and then I'll kind of tell you guys about some of our wants and our dreams. So for us, we were only going to move if we were getting more out of it, but we were looking to move out of the city into a single family home because that's the only place we could afford a single family home. The house that we bought, for just perspective, in the city would have cost us about $800,000, maybe $750,000. So we knew we had to move out of the city, and our max distance from work was going to be about 40 minutes. That's like the furthest we wanted to go because we both work at the hospital. Matt goes into work every day. I go in a few times a month. So 40 minutes was like our max distance, and we had to be close to a major road or highway so that we knew it would be plowed every morning. If we wanted a bungalow or a two-story, it didn't really matter, but we did not want a semi-detached or a townhouse at all because, once again, we're in a townhouse right now. If we couldn't find a single family home, we would just stay in this house. Like, I'm not moving from a townhouse to another townhouse personally. A fenced in backyard. As you guys know, we're in a condo and we have a backyard. It's not fenced off, and Stella can't be off leash. So that was one of the big reasons we wanted to move, was to give Stella that backyard if we could. And size wise, we wanted it to be a bit more open concept. We have a pretty closed concept townhouse, so we wanted it to be a bit more open concept, same size or bigger in terms of, we have 3-bed, 2.5 bath. That's perfectly fine for us. We down the line only plan on having, even then we're not even sure, 1 kid, so we didn't need a ton of bedrooms. And so it had to be at least 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. It needed to have good natural lighting because of what I do for work, of course, preferably on city water, but that wasn't like the end of the world. You know, we found our perfect home because it checks off all the boxes. These are things that like we would love but are not deal breakers, if that makes sense. The first being, I wanted a separate space for a home library. You guys know I'm a really big reader, and I wanted an actual library if I could help it, if we could have an extra room. I wanted a window above my kitchen sink. I don't know why, but the thought of just like doing your dishes and watching like Stella play outside just like really brought me so much joy. So that was kind of like a dream. And I did say obviously a more open concept home in our needs, but I really wanted a really big living room because we spend a lot of time in our living room. We're very big homebodies. We love to watch TV shows and movies and read and play video games, and so we wanted a really big cozy living room. And I think that's really all we were looking for, which sounds either like a lot or nothing. I guess depends on the person watching this. Yeah, and I just want to say that everyone's definition of a dream home is going to be totally different. I could watch someone buy a super modern mansion and that be their dream home, and it's not my dream home, and you guys might watch this and say that's not my dream home, but it's my dream home, if that makes sense. And so it's not going to be for everybody, but for us, we really wanted to get out of the city. I grew up in the country and I've just never really felt at peace in the suburbs. It's been a really fun experience to try it out. We knew long term that wasn't going to be for us. This is our total dream home, and I know some people may not get it. It's not a new build. Oh, that's something I also forgot to add in the needs, is that we were not looking at new builds at all. It's just like personally not for me. We have family and friends that are new builds and absolutely love them, but it wasn't for me. I wanted an older home that kind of had that charm. Nothing against them, it just like isn't for our family. Anyways, I just wanted to give you that little intro before we get into the video so you guys kind of had some context to what we were looking for. But let's jump into it. But I will see you guys in the empty house tour. Hi guys, it's been a minute. I figured we should probably have a little chitty chatty update because last we talked, we went to go see house number 3, and then a few days later we saw house number 4 and house number 5. I'll give you guys the house updates. So house number 3 we liked. We were contemplating putting an offer in on it, and then we decided to sleep on it, which is something so different because the first time we went house hunting, obviously we had to like put offers in right away. Whereas now we've been trying to like sleep on it just so we don't get like wrapped up in like being excited, and then we can really think about it, because we were really excited about house number 3 and then we slept on it and my gut was just saying like it wasn't the right house. It was nice. It was pretty much the same layout as our house. It felt a lot smaller upstairs, even though the kitchen was like wider downstairs, and it still felt very closed concept. So they also wanted a quick sale because they were military and they were moving, and obviously since we haven't put our house on the market yet, we have to put a condition in. So let's say we were to put an offer in on a house. I think no one talks about this the second time buying a house, but I'm gonna film a whole video on it. You have to put an offer in on the house with a condition that our house sells, which is kind of how it covers your butt, because you don't want to be buying a house without your house selling and then you're screwed. And they didn't obviously want a condition because they were looking for a quick sale because they were military and they were trying to move, which is fine. House number 4 we liked. I feel like the thing is we're being picky this time, which we didn't have the opportunity to be picky last time what the market was, and we were just also like strapped for time, and in a way we did kind of have to settle for this house. But we love it, don't get me wrong, but I feel like we couldn't be very picky with the way the market was. This time we're being extra picky. And so who knows how long it's going to take us to find a house, but we liked house number 4 a lot. It was a really beautiful open concept layout. The only thing was that the bathroom downstairs had some like mold, so it would have to be like redone pretty much right away. The upstairs bathroom didn't have a shower, it just had a bath. The backyard was pretty big, it had a pool you guys saw, but they were starting new build construction, kind of like there was like a line of trees behind that. And so I think the noise would just be too much for me, especially working from home and vlogging. And that's something that we wouldn't have known, but we didn't take into consideration with this house, with like all the landscaping, because not only are we a condo complex, but the people across from us are, and the people on the other side of the street are. So there is like constantly landscaping going on in the summer, and it is very, very loud, and it compromises my work schedule. So we decided to not put an offer in on that one. And then we saw house number 5 and we fell in love. Like, I could tear up thinking about that house. This one is at the top end of our budget. It's actually a little bit over our budget, but we would come down on our offer to be in our budget, but it's kind of like on the tail end of our budget. So this one was so nice. It was half an acre, it had a shed, it was big enough to host a wedding if we wanted to in the backyard, and it was everything we wanted in a house. I really don't want a new build, and I don't want a newer house. I want a house that has character. I think that's the one thing I don't feel from this house. I grew up in the country. I grew up in a centennial home that has character and flaws, and obviously this house was like outdated and needed renovations, but you know, it feels kind of almost like a new build, right? The kitchen, I was like in love with the kitchen. It was like yellow and cheerful. It was such a beautiful home. Very beautiful layout. It was also, I don't think it was staged. I think they still live there because they were asking for a late closing. It was decorated so beautifully. It felt like we were in a boutique hotel. Even our realtor was like, this is one of the best like decorated homes I've ever seen. It was absolutely stunning. But the only downfall is it only has 1 bathroom, which is a pretty big deal breaker for us personally. Obviously, with just like wanting to have a kid down the line, like this time when we're looking at houses, we're really thinking into the future, right? Like, will this house have enough room for 1 kid in a few years? And you know, are we close to schools? Like, those are things we're taking into consideration this time. But we absolutely loved it. However, we just don't think for the price they're asking, it's worth only being a 2-bed, 1-bath. And they've already brought it down $40,000, which is why we're only going to see it now, is because only now is it kind of becoming in our budget. But I think that's the biggest reason it's not selling. So we're gonna keep an eye on it for like a week or 2 and see kind of what happens. Obviously, the more time that goes on with it being on the market with no offers, the more leeway you have to put in a lower offer. And we would definitely be willing to put in an offer, but it would have to be low enough that we would have some money left to do an addition or a renovation, like put a bathroom in the basement, right? That is a little house update. We don't really have any scheduled showings coming up. We haven't found anything. There's really not much on the market right now, to be quite honest. I know something's out there for us. We just have to be patient. Hi guys, hello. Little house update. I didn't vlog. Well, I vlogged the houses we saw yesterday, but I didn't like actually talk to you guys in vlog because we left at like 7 something in the morning because we had like 7 showings back to back from like 9 to like noon. Shout out to Josh for coming with us on the weekend. But yesterday we decided to do something a little out of our comfort zone. And we decided to go look at houses that are in a, I wouldn't even call it a town because it's like very developed, like a city, about 45 minutes to an hour away from here. As you guys know, we would love to end up in the country and just slow down a little bit and kind of have our own home. But with the way the houses still are in Ottawa, it's just not going to be feasible. Like, we are going to have to settle again here in Ottawa, and I just don't think that either of us want that. Yeah, we went and looked at I think 6 or 7 houses, and honestly most of them were a bust, and we were getting like really discouraged, mainly because we drove like an hour and we were like, well, this is like, we've wasted everyone's time, like nothing's gonna work out. We actually saw a house at the beginning that we really liked. It had the most beautiful like A-line living room. It felt like a cottage, but the bedrooms were super dark, and they weren't even technically legal bedrooms because they didn't have any windows. And obviously as someone who like creates content and works from home, like I need a bright airy space. Like that's one of our must-haves in a house. And so we did end up wanting to put an offer in on it, sadly, but it was so beautiful. And then we, like I said, we're getting really discouraged. And then the second last house we saw, we honestly like forgot about this house. Like I think when you go see that many houses, like 7, they kind of just like all jumble together. And we pulled up and I was like, oh, like it's just like a little bungalow, whatever. And then we stepped inside and Matt and I immediately, like, it was the only house that we walked in and like could feel ourselves living there. Like, we've never had that. We honestly didn't have that with this house just because of the market and how crazy things were and how like in a rush we were to get into this house. We just loved it so much. It is basically turnkey ready, which was what we wanted, with like minor things we could upgrade over the years. But like the kitchen didn't need to be redone, the living room, like everything was honestly perfect. The only thing that we would like upgrade is potentially the bathroom, but even then it's just that we didn't like the color of the things. But it was also, keep in mind, a super rainy day, so it's a really good day to go look at houses for me, being like a creator, to see the lighting in the houses. And this house, you guys, I was like, this is a sign. It was so bright and it was like pouring rain. It was super dark outside and it was still so bright. It had these huge windows. It was just so, it was so bright. I couldn't get over it. It also had a really nice screened in veranda and a really big backyard and like everything we wanted in a house. We absolutely fell in love with this house. It was everything we needed. It was 3 bedrooms with a like technically legal bedroom in the basement because it had the windows and the escape and the exit. This house has been on the market for 31 days and I recently downloaded Redfin, which if you guys are looking for a house, I highly recommend because it gives you you have to make an account, but it lets you know like how much the house is sold for previously, how much they've bought it for previously, yada yada yada. And yeah, Josh called the listing agent. He got the deets from them. They're also looking for their next house, so they want a long closing date, which works perfect for us with putting our house on the market. There's like no one's gonna come in and snatch the house up, really, at least not like in the outskirts of Ottawa. Even in Ottawa, like stuff is staying on the market a relatively long time. And so it's hard. We're trying not to get our hopes up, but I don't know, I have a good feeling about it. We are gonna go in under asking, which is crazy because when we bought, obviously like everyone in that time had no conditions and everyone was going above asking. So for us to be able to go in under asking with like an inspection and selling our house, like the condition of selling our house is like crazy. So anyways, he's gonna get that together and I want to give you guys that update because I didn't really vlog much when we were actually there just because it was super rainy. Okay, this is it. I'm not gonna show you guys it because it has the address, but we're doing it. Wow.
We did it.
Look at my signature. All right, I guess we'll check back in with you guys tomorrow morning. I hope they just take our offer and we don't have to negotiate. We just got a text back from Josh. Basically, the offers were presented at 8 p.m. last night. Josh called them at like 9 because we were like, okay, what's going on? We were the only offer being presented. And they were like, oh, they're at a party. We'll have to get back to you tomorrow morning. So Josh just texted us to say that they countered for $2K under their asking price, which is like, we went in, how much under asking did we go in? The house has been on the market for almost 40 days now and they've lowered their price like 3 times. We went in at about 30,000 under asking. And they countered, instead of countering like halfway at like maybe 15K, they countered 2K under asking. So I'm kind of thinking that they have a set number in mind they have to sell for their next house. Josh was like, honestly, they're probably gonna like decline. I'm just gonna give the agent a verbal offer and like not waste anyone's time. So anyways, I'll keep you guys posted, but I think it looks like this one is not gonna work out for us, which is fine. It just means there's something else out there, but that is my update. But yesterday we saw 6 houses. I'll give you a little wrap up on each one. In terms of the house that we put an offer in on, it is still on the market and they came back to us and dropped their like lowest price that they would take by another 10K, which is funny because they were like 2K under asking is the best that we can do. And then they dropped another 10, which we're getting there. We're gonna sit on it for a little bit more. And the thing is we could like pay that and it's still like very below our means. Like this house is very much below like the max that we want to spend. Like it is significantly cheaper than the house that we have now. Not that our house now is expensive, but just to put it into perspective, like we could just meet them at this price and be like, yeah, sure, let's do it. But we obviously want to see like how low we can get the house for. So we're gonna sit on it for a little bit longer. I'm just pulling out my phone because I have all the like notes and stuff that we took and they were all just kind of meh. Like nothing was bad, but nothing was like stood out to us like this first house did. First house we saw was honestly amazing. It was a 2-story house. It was like on the outskirts, which was nice. It kind of felt more country vibes and there was a lot of younger people like having pool parties and stuff, so definitely like our age, which was great. And the house itself was really nice, honestly. For the price it was, like we were looking at bungalows at that price, and so we like were kind of shocked. The backyard was massive, and it had the biggest in-ground pool I'd ever seen in my whole entire life. It had like wood trim around all the door frames, and I loved it. It felt like a little bit country. The layout of this house, but the kitchen and dining room were really dark. It also had a veranda, like the house we put an offering on, so that was really nice, but it was just very dark. I'm just not sure what the lighting situation would be like, but it is a contender. Not that we'd be settling, but it is a contender if we like maybe saw it in the morning versus the afternoon to see what the lighting would be like. But we liked the layout of the house. Yeah, it had a veranda, the basement was really nicely finished, and it had a really big backyard. So it was a contender. The next one was the one that Matt loved the most. Mine was the one I just talked about. This is one that Matt loved the most. And this one is definitely a contender, except there's already an offer on it. So we have no idea what they went in on or anything. So we're going to wait and see if that offer gets accepted. And if it does, it just wasn't meant to be. Really nice, well-established neighborhood, bungalow, very bright, which we loved, and super open concept, which is something that we obviously struggle with in this house. It didn't need really any work. The basement was so well done, like the most up-to-date basement we've seen, honestly. I loved the brick wall. It was like laid out really nicely. It's the first basement I saw that I was like, oh yeah, I could totally use that, whereas every other basement we saw was kind of like just used as storage. The backyard was interesting because it had a, like, you could go out through the dining room onto your porch, but then you could like walk across to your actual green space, which was like a little interesting layout. So I wasn't sure how I felt about that, but like obviously like not the end of the world. It was just like an interesting layout. It was kind of like divvied up in two. That one is a contender if they don't get their offer accepted. Nothing new was like, we're not going to put an offer in on it or anything. I just really wanted to go see it. It was a Century home, and it honestly looked like something out of a horror movie in the sense of like the price was pretty cheap for the size of it. It was like listed at $499 for like a 3,500 square feet home, mid-century, and needed just like a ton of upgrades. The people were actually home, which always makes me so uncomfortable. The house was super cluttered, and I just felt like awkward taking clips in there. But it had a lot of potential if like someone had a lot of money to put into it. It was so beautiful. It was like one of those houses that you could get lost in. It had so many rooms. The foundation was like beautiful, like the rooms and stuff. It was like your typical like just beautiful Century home, but we obviously don't have like a ton of money to pour into the house, especially at that price. But it had a really cool like third floor like off of one of the bedrooms, and it like could have been a really great office. But it did remind me something of a horror movie, like 25-year-old couple buy Century home to fix up, and like a ghost, you know, possesses them. So once again, just like a very meh, average, like nothing stood out about it bungalow. It was nice and bright. At least I really liked the kitchen layout, although it was dark. I don't really honestly have much to say about this one. Like, it was just, like I said, it was very like meh, didn't really stand out to us. The same didn't really stand out. This one did have a big backyard as well with an in-ground pool, but the house was just very meh. It was a really interesting layout. The kitchen was really small. It was like off the side door, which I didn't love. And the last one we saw was also another like 2-story home. I'm just trying to see if I even got any clips of this one before I like talk about it. Yeah, this one was like nice. The layout was a little weird. It was very skinny in the sense that like the kitchen and dining room were really skinny. There wasn't a ton of room. I think I literally got one clip of the kitchen. It was just kind of meh. Had an above ground pool that wasn't really well cared for. And yeah, so that was our adventure yesterday. I guess I'll update you guys when we have a plan moving forward. But for now, we are just waiting to see if the people come down on their offer. That's the update, you guys. What is the last update I gave you guys? I don't remember. I know I was wearing a green shirt, but I genuinely could not tell you what I even told you guys. We offered again on the bungalow, and then they came back to us and said that, I feel like I should just give you numbers at this point so it makes a lot more sense. And honestly, I'm very transparent with my finances anyway, so keep in mind this is in Canadian. So this bungalow was originally listed for $500,000, which is insane for being an hour outside of Ottawa. Like, that's crazy. I mean, that's still cheap because in Ottawa it would be like $650,000 to $700,000. Then it was price reduced twice and it's been on the market for 40 days. The first time we put an offer in on it, it was listed at $435,000. We put an offer in at $405,000 because obviously it's kind of like a brand deal. Like you're gonna basically, like they're starting high, you're starting low, and then you're meeting in the middle somewhere. And they didn't like that, so then obviously that offer didn't go through. The price got reduced to $430,000 and we heard that there was another offer going in. So then we went in at $415,000. They came down to $424,000 and then we offered $420,000 and they said no. So then we're like, we're just gonna sit on it. So today they counter offered us at $420,000. They basically reverse Uno'd us because our offer obviously expired. So they basically came to us and said, this is the offer for you to buy our house. I think is how Josh put it. Actually, I'm not really too sure. Oh, pretty much they're accepting our original offer of $420,000, but since the deadline of our offer has passed, they're offering it to us. And they've accepted all of our conditions, which is fantastic. I'm waiting for Matt to get home. It's like 3 o'clock and I have dinner tonight with the girls at 6, so I'm hoping we can get this chatted and sorted out. I mean, like if all goes well, technically like they've already basically accepted our offer. We just have to like resubmit it to them. So I'm excited. You guys posted, that's the update. They countered us at our offer, which is good. It means we're on the same page. So fingers crossed. Welcome to update number 670,000 of buying a house. I'm just kidding. It is Friday today. Obviously we had until 9 last night to decide, and we made a decision not to, but not because we're not interested. We just want to go see the house one more time, just to like really make sure. I feel like the first time we bought, obviously I kind of like keep saying this, that we kind of like not rushed into it, but you know, we kind of had to settle. Obviously this time we can be really picky and we don't have to be in a big rush, and so we just want to go see it one more time and walk through it, because the first time we saw it was at the end of the day. It was like house number, I think 7 or 8 of that day, and like at some point they all just start to like mesh together. So we just want to go have one more walkthrough. And then 2 days ago, honestly it's giving very much cottagecore vibes. This like really beautiful, it's a cottage but like not in the sense it's on the water. It just like looks like a fairy witchy cottage. It's like the cutest thing ever. It's like I'm gonna pull up the link. I'm pretty sure it's a 1960s home. Matt sent it to me and we both really liked it, and so I don't know, yesterday I was just thinking that obviously we have time, like the ball is in our court and we kind of have all of the say in this situation because they haven't got any, well they had that one other offer which they clearly didn't move forward with, but the ball's kind of like in our court in the sense that like we have time. And I was saying to Matt yesterday that I feel like I would regret not going to see this house, just to like either make sure that we aren't interested, or if we are, to like maybe put an offer in on this house as well, because this house is just, I mean the thing with photos is they can obviously be super deceiving, but while we're out there, like if we're already gonna be out there going to see Cutie Bungalow again, we may as well go see this house. Like I just felt like I would regret and always think like what if. Let's head to go look at some houses and go see Cutie Bungalow again. it has been a hot month or two. I actually don't remember the last time I gave you guys an update, but it was definitely the first time we went to go see the Cutie Cottage, which it's been so long I don't even remember if that's what we were calling it, but I think it was. And for once, the vlogs are actually updated more than you guys are. So it's time for an update. We had gone to see Cutie Cottage and the little bungalow again. And when we stepped into the Cutie Cottage, we were like, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, this is our home. We finally got that feeling of like just a gut feeling that we were meant to live here. And so we put an offer in, same day. Our offer was accepted, conditionally accepted, because we have to sell our house. We had our inspection done. We ended up bumping our offer from $469 to $450 because it needed some work done. Everything went great. That Tuesday, because it was a long weekend, we put our house up for sale. And the day that we listed it, we got our first showing, and that night we got an offer $20,000 over asking, and that was just conditional on like financing and stuff. Now, this is in no way, shape, or form of me throwing those people under the bus. I just want to be transparent with you guys about the process. So then we were conditionally sold for 9 days, and then at not the last minute, but right when everything was about to go signed, sealed, and delivered, their financing fell through. So we were like, it's fine. Like, the house was on the market for like not even a day. We already had an offer over asking. Like, it's gonna sell so quick again. And then the summer lull came, and the house, as of right now, is still on the market. We've had a lot of showings and a lot of interest though. Throughout this whole like time our house was for sale, house that we were conditionally sold on, they were really great. Like, they didn't rush us or anything. But unfortunately, this past week we had to pull out of that house. We literally pulled out of our dream house, and I know that like what's meant to be will be, and like it's all gonna work out in the end, but in the moment it's really hard to see that. I didn't really want to film this early in the week because I was honestly really sad. It was the first time I'd ever cried about a house. Like, all that being said, right now our house is still for sale and we are not locked into a house, but we're gonna go look at a house this evening that came up, I want to say 40 minutes away. Our house, Cutie Cottage, that we were conditionally sold on, was about an hour, which is so funny because for some reason, an hour seems like way farther than 40 minutes, even though it's like a 20-minute difference. I think this might be house like number 15 or 16 that we're going to look at, but I'm really excited to go see this one. I might love this one, honestly, more than Cutie Cottage because it has a reading nook. And it's so beautiful. So anyways, we're gonna go see that one today, and I'm really, really excited about that. I feel like this video is gonna be like 2 hours long. I might have to chop it up into 2 parts, honestly, but we'll see. Hi guys, we finally have some updates, and I'm excited but also nervous, and I'm feeling very anxious right now, so yeah. But last week we got 2 offers on the house in the same day. We waited like 21 days, we got 2 offers, and they both had good elements to them, but neither offer was like all around what we were looking for, whether it was closing date or price or conditions, etc. So the first offer we got was the exact price we wanted, but they wanted to close early in September, which I'd say 45 days to 60 days is like the average closing date in Ontario. You can obviously close in 30 days if you get everything lined up, but for us, it just seemed way too stressful and way too soon, considering we didn't even have a place to move into. It'd be kind of different if we were still conditionally sold on a place, but we did not have a place, and we wanted to avoid living with family and friends as much as we could, because I knew mentally for me it would not be the best thing. And obviously if we were in a situation where we absolutely had to, we would, but it just felt very, very rushed. And they also had other conditions, which our house was already past inspection, but there was just some other stuff that it wasn't ideal. Our second offer was a bit lower in cost, but they wanted to move mid-October and they had no other conditions, which once again, I wouldn't have minded an inspection condition because we've already passed an inspection with flying colors. We already knew that, but other than that, they didn't have anything else. Even being in a condo, they like didn't have any other, sorry, the garbage truck keeps going by. And so we said no to offer number 1, and we've been countering with offer number 2 for about a week now, trying to meet somewhere in the middle, because they did come in a bit lower than we wanted, but they were able to meet us at a number that we were happy with. With that being said, because we knew offer number 2 people were interested still, we did let their agent know that we were just hoping to go look at a few properties before we accepted their offer, and they were totally fine with that. We obviously knew in the back of our heads, like, they could find another house at any time, but we were willing to kind of not keep it in the back of our mind, but just let them know, like, hey, we're interested in your offer. But Matt really wanted to make sure we had a house lined up before we accepted their offer, so we weren't, I mean, we would, if you accept an offer and then you start looking, that's totally normal as well, but Matt just didn't like feel comfortable doing that, and so we just didn't do that. So yesterday we ended up going to look at 2 houses, and okay, I'll give you guys kind of the summary. So the first one we went to go look at, which I'm sure is probably like house number 19 or 20 at this point, we actually, it was very cute. It was on like 2 acres. It had a chicken coop. It like backed onto a field. It was really, really nice. But the second we walked in, I saw a chipmunk run across the floor, and I was like, yeah, I'm bucking out. I don't know. And I know you can fix these things, but it means there's a hole in the house somewhere, and I'm just, no. Nope, 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 nope. It scared the shit out of me. Absolutely not. I'm not having it. So I'll put the footage in of what the house looked like, but yeah, we're not gonna put an offer in. Then the next one, we're gonna call it Quaint Century Home, or like Spacious Century Home. This house, you guys, this house checked all the mother effing boxes. Okay, I'm trying not to get my hopes up. I'm really not, but it was a century home, which is what I wanted, and it was renovated for the most part on the inside, with also keeping some of the character and charm, which is what Matt wanted. He wanted a more up-to-date house. And here, let me pull up the clips that I took, because I don't even know if I got any clips of the upstairs. This house, you guys, okay, first of all, the backyard on it was stunning. It actually reminded me of the cutie cottage house that we ended up pulling out of, but it was stunning. I loved it. It was like the typical century home that you see, where it has the formal sitting room that has been turned into an office, main floor office. You guys know that's on my dream list. Big windows, super bright. We literally went to go see this house at like 7:30 at night. It was still super bright outside. It was on a quiet cul-de-sac. We were the second to last house on it, and it backed onto forest, so it was really quiet. Overall, it had really good bones. Matt and Josh went into the basement and said the foundation looked really good, which obviously we'd still get an inspection, but it was just so, I loved it. It had so much charm, and the ceilings were super, super tall on it. I loved the bathroom on the main floor. I actually didn't mind that it had the laundry and dryer in there. It was super tall. I loved the tile, and it was honestly just so beautiful. You guys, I really don't want to get my hopes up, but I think I like this one more than the cutie cottage house, honestly, and so does Matt. It has 3 bedrooms. I didn't really get a lot of footage of the upstairs, but I think there's probably photos in the attic I can put in. It has this, like, I think I might have taken a video of it. It has a 2nd floor office that goes up into an attic, which is not a creepy attic. They use it as a master bedroom. And you could totally put a freaking secret door on there. Like, you could, Josh was like, if you guys get this, you have to put a secret door on it. You have to. And every attic we've been in has been super stuffy, but this one was really airy. It was nice. It wasn't hot. It wasn't stuffy at all. Yeah, they used it as a master bedroom, but I honestly just loved it so much. It was so nice, and the price is really great on it, and we were both just like, wow, this, like, it just has so many rooms. So many rooms. I could have a library, Matt could have a man cave. I'm on my lunch break now, and Josh said he'll have the forms to us mid-afternoon to sign, and we're gonna offer on it tonight. And then if all goes well, we can accept the offer on our house. And yeah, but I'll keep you guys updated. That is the update. I'm excited. I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but it's really hard for me because I get so emotionally attached to things. Yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. Hi guys. It's been a minute. I'm literally so anxious and nervous and nauseous, and I'm feeling all the feelings right now. So I need to give you guys an update. So last we talked, we were gonna put an offer in on the last house that we saw, and we did, and they did accept it, obviously with conditions, selling our house and home inspection. Had our home inspection, that went great. Then we relisted our house on the market with a price drop because we had a bit of wiggle room in terms of our price. We got an offer on Sunday, and that was just conditional on like a home inspection, and it was the exact number that we wanted, like better than the last two offers we got, which is great. Our conditions were due yesterday, so we've met our conditions besides selling our house, and the people buying our house, their conditions are due at 8 p.m. tonight, and they literally just left. They had their home inspection. It's like 3:30, and now we just sit and wait. And if all goes well, we will have sold our house tonight, which means we will have officially bought our house as of tonight as well, or like technically tomorrow. I've been trying to film a video all day, and I have not been able to vlog. Like, I'm just so anxious. I don't know. I haven't had my hopes up all week. I've literally just like not felt any emotion. I've just been numb to it, even though like I love this house so much that we put an offer in on. Like, it's truly Matt and I's just like favorite house so far. It's made us realize that like nothing else has worked out for a reason, but I haven't like let myself feel anything yet because I just don't think mentally I can take being disappointed again. So I probably don't seem excited, and that's because I'm honestly not. I haven't let myself feel excited yet. I'm just like so numb right now. So I think too for Matt and I is that we know this is like kind of like the final straw. Like, if this doesn't work out, like that's it. We're just gonna take the house off the market and just try again maybe next year. So I think we're just like, there's so much riding on this, but I feel like also so anxious because today I was gonna film my video for Sunday, but like I've been trying and I just like can't do it. And so now I'm anxious because I don't have a video for Sunday. Like, our home inspection passed with flying colors before, so I don't see why it wouldn't work out, but I don't know. Not that I like want to think negatively, but I just at this point don't, like, I just don't know what to expect. So that's my update. I guess I will hopefully have good news for you guys tonight, and we will have a house and our house will be sold. But I guess we'll see. We'll wait and see. We're literally just about to leave the house, and Josh sent us the forms. Here are the final forms to go officially sold. I don't look excited, but I just have like I'm just so like numb at this point to the emotions. Like, it doesn't feel real.
I'm nauseous.
Go get some food. People are gonna
do it like you have to do it like an F1.
Not like Mando. I did it. It was the funniest shit ever.
Just shake it, Matt. When you're
How
so
did he
boring.
do it? He just
Mess everywhere. Now shake it. F1 style. Yeah! Okay, but we want them to drink. There's not gonna be much left at this point.